Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. This is your coach Aina. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is about a comment that I saw in the comment box of one of my previous videos, and it was regarding how to improve English communication skills. I thought it's a very practical question to ask, and I should tell you all the tips and tricks that help me develop my communication skills and how to effectively speak in English. So let's get started. Now, let me tell you why it is difficult for us to improve English speaking communication skills. Now, when we think about our school and our college times, ഇപ്പോഴും നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ നമ്മളെ പൊതുവെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരെ കളിയാക്കാനും മോക്ക് ചെയ്യാനും ഒക്കെ കുട്ടികൾ ശ്രമിക്കും. So we try not to speak in English in schools and colleges. The fear of not being singled out or not being mocked at, and there what happens is we are losing an opportunity to practice English. So I think the best way to get started practicing your communication skills, and if you really want to improve your English, is to find yourselves opportunities where you can speak up and where you can frequently talk in English. Now, this happened to me when I started working outside Kerala, where I did my schooling and my college from. And when I was put into a situation where there was no other common language other than English, then I was forced to speak in English. Also, when I went for pursuing higher studies in a different state, there again, because I didn't know how to speak in Hindi, then I could only resort to English as a language, and then I had to learn how to speak in English. So unless you put yourself in a situation where you are forced to speak in English, and that to good English, that is when you will really start practicing it and becoming good at it. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is reading. എപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ കുട്ടികളോട് പറയും റീഡ് ദി എഡിറ്റോറിയൽ, ഹിന്ദുവിൻ്റെ എഡിറ്റോറിയൽ പേപ്പർ വായിക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പേഴ്സ് വായിക്കുക. Now, the thing about reading newspapers is that not everybody will like it or find it interesting, and for a young reader, for a reader who is just beginning to read, it's important to find good, engaging, enjoyable content to read. If he doesn't find that kind of content, it becomes very difficult to continue that habit. Reading is a habit that needs to be formed over time, so you always try to pick up light reads to start with, to begin with, so that you don't find yourself looking at the dictionary every now and then and not really enjoying what is written. So angana nokkumba, I think the Chetan Bhagat series ellam nalladana, because they are all very light reads, romantic flicks, teenage friendly. So if you want to get just started off with reading books, fictions are best reads. Self-help non-fictional can be a little too boring and very, very serious. So if you're looking to develop a reading habit, always look for good fictional writers to begin with. Adu kazhinjittu as you progress, you can always improve your complexity of reading. You can pick up very good readers and then continue your journey. So always when you're starting, start with light reads. The next thing that I would want to suggest is writing. Now, a lot of us ignore writing, but this is something that has helped me a great deal, because I used to write a blog, and the purpose of writing that blog was to improve my writing, and what I feel is that has also improved my vocabulary and my ability to put my point across to the readers. Now, writing, I feel, will help you a lot in terms of thinking clearly and structuring your thoughts and articulating it in a format that is understandable to the reader. So if someone says that what you have written is very beautiful, or they really enjoyed your writing, that means that you have been successful in communicating what you wanted to communicate to that audience. So I think even if it's not for publishing, you can still get started off with writing. You can maintain a journal, you can start writing, maintain a diary where you start writing about what happened during the course of the day, or you can write about any big or memorable events in your life. Be as descriptive as possible, be as generous with words as possible. Also watch out for vocabulary. Find words that look beautiful, that have a better meaning than the normal, spoken language words. So this phase you can consciously improve your writing, and that way when you are actually speaking, you will also get that clarity of thought, and you can probably learn to speak in English by thinking in English. Now a lot of times what happens is നമ്മളെല്ലാം ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ലോക്കൽ ലാംഗ്വേജിലായിരിക്കും. ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത് മലയാളത്തിൽ ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ട് മലയാളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് പിന്നെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് കൺവേർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും അത് ഭയങ്കര ഓക്വേർഡാവും. സോ ഓൾവേസ് ട്രൈ ടു തിങ്ക് ഇൻ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് വെൻ യു ആർ ട്രൈങ് ടു കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ഇൻ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്. വെൻ യു ആർ തിങ്കിങ് ഇൻ മലയാളം or your native language, then you communicate in that language. So whatever language you're choosing to communicate, try to think in that language itself. Now the next tip is about listening. So to listen to others speak. Now idile one thing that has helped me a lot is watching and basically listening to Hollywood movies and music. Random. So basically Hollywood movies നമ്മൾ subtitle off ചെയ്തിട്ട് കാണാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുക. So you mute the subtitle, and when you watch it without the subtitle, it becomes very difficult to understand. So then you will have to pause, you will have to rewind and watch again. But then watch it for the sake of learning and not really to enjoy the movie. When you start doing that, you will automatically pick up good vocabulary, you will pick up the accent, you will pick up pronunciations, and that will become much better. So it's always good to listen to a native speaker speaking. I prefer American English. That's more comprehensible to a UK English, which I think has a slightly more strong accent. So try to watch Hollywood movies and without the subtitle on. So I think that will also improve your listening abilities a great deal. Now last but not the least, no matter whatever preparations you do, you have to be practicing. You cannot do this in the four walls sitting inside the room. Like you can download apps, you can join online English courses. There are plenty of podcasts online which will let you speak English or any other language for that matter. It will tell you what is the steps involved. It will walk you from basic to an intermediate to an advanced level of speaking, listening, writing, etc. But what is important is to be able to practice, and for that you need to put yourselves in situations where you can practice. So joining a group like the Toastmasters or any other community where or probably encouraging speaking in English in the workplace. All of this will encourage you to put yourself in that zone where you are forced to speak in English, and that's the only way you can learn. It's like learning swimming, it's like learning driving. You can take a lot of theoretical classes, but you need to be able to practice and do it in real time to be able to pick up and become an expert in it. So put yourselves into situations where you can practice and do not shy away. It's okay, people will make fun of you. ഒത്തിരി പേരുണ്ടാവും നമ്മളെ കളിയാക്കാൻ. പക്ഷേ you need to be focused on what your priorities, what your goal is. If your goal is to improve your communication skills, then please be focused only on that. It doesn't matter what people say, how people will mock at you. We are all learning, and when we are learning, we will make mistakes, we will fail, but that's okay. We need to learn from our mistakes, and we need to learn to move on.